Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. An inquest into the death of an inmate that occurred at the Saskatchewan Penitentiary began this morning in Prince Albert. On November 28, 2022, 28-year-old Brandon Lupkowski was found unresponsive in his cell at the Saskatchewan Penitentiary, and resuscitation efforts by EMS were unsuccessful. The jury has been tasked with determining the cause of death, as well as making any recommendations to prevent similar deaths in the future. This morning, the jury heard from 2 RCMP members who were involved with the initial investigation into Lupkowski's death. There are a total of 16 scheduled witnesses, and the inquest is being held at the Coronet Hotel and is scheduled to continue until Friday. Lupkowski had been charged with breaking and entering and discharging a firearm. RCMP have released video of a side-by-side they believe is connected to a homicide in northern Saskatchewan that prompted a dangerous persons alert. They've released this surveillance footage of the vehicle captured the morning of December 30th on the Big Island Lake Cree Nation. Just after 5 o'clock that morning, RCMP received multiple reports about gunshots in the community. Officers found 2 youth who had been shot, their injuries considered serious. 2 men were also found suffering from gunshot wounds. One of them, a 31-year-old, died of his injuries. The investigation has determined the youth were shot by the suspects on this side-by-side. They believe the shootings were connected, but haven't determined if they were targeted or random. Anyone who recognizes the side-by-side or knows who was on it should contact RCMP. A former Saskatchewan group home worker accused of assaulting residents testified today, denying the allegations against her. 38-year-old Jacqueline Elias is on trial for assault and sexual assault charges and 1 count of sexual assault with a weapon and uttering threats. The Crown alleges the incidents occurred between January 2023 and February of 2024, involving 4 residents who are nonverbal and are in wheelchairs. Yesterday, Elias's former co-worker testified Elias rubbed her breasts in some of the faces of the residents, calling them perverts, poking the resident in a groin with a stick, and stuffing a washcloth in a resident's mouth to stop them from drooling. Taking the stand today, Elias denied those allegations. She said she called one resident a pervert, but it was part of a running joke among staff. The Crown and Defence have finished calling witnesses this afternoon. A date for closing arguments is yet to be set. A Saskatchewan mother is pleading for answers tonight, urging anyone with information about her daughter's death to come forward. It's a painful anniversary for Lorna Mitchell. 2 years ago on February 5th, 2024, RCMP found 44-year-old Candy Pritchard's remains outside a home on Red Pheasant Cree Nation. Police later found additional evidence in a nearby wooded area. No charges have been laid.
Whoever knows something, please come forward. Or if you witness this, please come forward, and so we can have justice for her and we can have peace. I hardly ever sleep.
Even the smallest detail could help move this case forward, as RCMP believe there are people out there who know something. Anyone with information about Candy's death is asked to contact RCMP, police, or Crime Stoppers. All right, Jeff, as we look around the country, which province or which region got the best kick at the can today?
Well, you know what? It looks as though parts of Ontario are, of course, dealing with some very cold conditions, and they're still going to have some lingering snow out there. And, you know, cottage country, Nickel Belt over towards Ottawa and Montreal, more substantive snow than, let's say, in and around Toronto. But in the west, still dealing with some rain showers up on the north coast that's going to start moving down. But then we'll talk about the warm Pacific air that still continues to impact the prairie provinces.
Support workers and maintenance staff at Saskatoon Catholic schools are considering job action. CUPE 2268 and 3730 members, representing educational assistants, library workers, maintenance, and other support staff in Greater Saskatoon Catholic schools, voted in favor of strike action. The vote was held over the weekend, with 90% voting in favor of job action. Both unions recently reached an impasse in bargaining over wages. A spokesperson says says neither local is in a legal strike position and both groups are prepared to return to the bargaining table at any time. In a statement, the school board says it respects the process and will continue to work with CUPE toward agreements that enhance compensation for staff and are fiscally responsible for the publicly funded educational institution. A Saskatchewan charity is closing down its Warman operations. Hope's Home, an organization that provides medical support for kids with specialized needs, sent a letter to families recently. It said the Warman location would close on June 26th. The charity says the decision was not made lightly, but is due to a drop in demand and the loss of an on-site nursing program. The charity says it will work with the school division and potential new operators with the goal of keeping those care spaces in the community. Farm Credit Canada is hosting the Young Farmer Summit in Regina. The one-day event is meant to recruit young farmers and teach producers the business side of farming operations. It's also designed to help with strategies to deal with mental stress. Organizers say despite efforts like this, the average age of a farmer continues to go up.
You're always hearing we need more agriculture people, we need competent, we need them to understand what's going on, and that it's a financial risk for someone to be in $1 million combine when they don't know what they're doing or if they're not competent enough. So there's a lot of push for that younger. I've had other farmers who are above the age of 65 come up to me and say, if you know anybody who wants to start maybe taking over this, because I don't want to sell to the big guy down the street, I want this to remain a small farm.
In the 2021 Census of Agriculture, it said that 3 in 5 farmers are over the age of 55. SaskTel has announced it is planning to shut down its 3G network next year. SaskTel will shut down 3G on October 1st, 2027. After the shutdown, anyone who has 3G wireless devices will have to replace them as they will no longer work on the network. SaskTel and its discount affiliate Loom Mobile will be transitioning anyone still using 3G and other affected systems for voice calling on certain devices. 4G, also known as LTE, and 5G devices will be unaffected. SaskTel says 3G devices and network equipment is getting harder to find and more expensive to repair, and other Canadian service providers have already begun shutting down their 3G networks. After the break, she's making waves in the pool and getting big recognition. Jasmine Peltier catches up with Ali Deal, Saskatchewan's Youth Female Athlete of the Year.
We are with speed swimmer Ali Deal, who won this year's Saskatchewan Youth Female Athlete of the Year, and she also had a national recognition as Swimming Canada's Breakout Swimmer of the Year. So hi, I'm super excited to meet you. That's awesome. And I just want some background on your swimming career. So how old were you when you got started, and were you initially swimming with the Sharks?
I started when I was about 7 years old, and yeah, I've always been with the Sharks since I was 7, and I'm 17 now, so that's about 10 years.
At what point did you start to take speed swimming more seriously?
When I was about 13, when I made my first national championships, so that was definitely the biggest leap, and then just from then to now, yeah.
What's your best stroke?
Breaststroke, 100%.
Why?
I don't know, it seems like it's the funnest, and everyone's genetically better at a certain stroke, and mine is just breaststroke. My mom was also a breaststroker, and so is my dad, and they're both swimmers, so.
What was your least favorite?
Butterfly. I have one arm, so the balance is a little more difficult, so I still practice it, and I still try to get better at it, because you should try and be better every single day at every stroke, even if you're not good at it. But yeah, it's not at the top of my pole.
You were at the World Championships in Singapore. Was that your first World Championship?
Yes, it was, yeah.
And you were the youngest person on the team, 16 at the time, is that correct? Okay. Was there anything that you were able to learn from the older athletes on your team that, is going to help you out in the future or helped you out at the championships?
Well, just to have fun with the first one, because if you make the first one, there's most likely going to be a second one if you keep working hard and staying in that motivational mindset. So I definitely tried to have fun and just stay in the moment. And everyone was so sweet and genuine, so it was really awesome.
I was reading a little bit about you before. Did you actually shave 2 seconds off your personal best at the World Championship?
Yes, I did. I was going a 123 low, and which I got only a couple weeks before at Canada Games, right after I was injured. And then just a couple weeks later at Worlds, I shaved off 2 seconds and went a 121.02 or 3. So that's a pretty big leap, especially in swimming. It's very hard to even cut off milliseconds. Yeah.
How did you end up pulling that off?
A lot of hard work, especially after Canada Games. I was so worried about my hip strain that I wouldn't be able to swim as good as I had been training for. So yeah, that really helped, and just staying determined and believing in myself.
Were you able to see any of Singapore when you were there, or was it mostly just the competition?
I did see the big trees, the garden. It was beautiful. That was on the last night. And my mom and my auntie and my brother were also with me, but my brother had left. And we went to go see the Universal on the little island. It was super cool. So yeah.
Oh, that sounds like fun. What are some of your biggest memories from swimming, I guess, this year?
Definitely in the past years, Worlds, 100%, and meeting so many new people there. And trials when I made the Worlds team with all my friends. So that is definitely a highlight for me.
What are some of your goals moving forwards? I think specifically in 2026 and then maybe beyond that?
This year in August, there is Pan Pacific Games in California. So my goal is to get as many events as I can to go swim there to be qualified for. And then later on, of course, LA 28 in LA as well.
If someone doesn't know a lot about para swimming, what would you say to maybe encourage them to check it out or find out more information about the athletes, about the events?
Well, I feel like a lot of people are difficult to change, especially in the sport mentality a little. You'll always watch the Olympics, and the people that watch the Olympics won't usually watch the Paralympics because they don't know as much about it. So the Paralympic community is definitely growing, which is amazing, and I can't wait to see how it becomes in the future years, because just because we're different doesn't mean we're less good and that we don't work as hard, because we do. We have a disability and we're swimming, or any sport in general. So yeah.
All right. Thank you for meeting me here.
Thank you.
When we come back, Jeff's keeping an eye on the weather, and later introducing foods early may be the key to avoiding allergies later. All right, Jeff, around the country we go, and who's got the coldest of the temperatures here?
Well, it's been pretty mild across the prairie provinces, and certainly that's been true of parts of British Columbia as well. But in so many parts of BC, always seem to be on the mild side. But there are parts of Canada that are very cold. Now, I mentioned how cold it's been in parts of Ontario and Quebec, but we make our way up into the far north, the Cambridge Bay to be exact. A core temperature of -44 earlier today. But with the wind chill, it felt closer to -64. So there are some wickedly cold temperatures out there. And some of that cold Arctic air, John, is eventually going to start making its way down south. But it won't be as cold as that. But right now, we're keeping our eye on some of the rain that's up on the north coast. Eventually, it makes its way down towards the central coastline and down to the lower mainland and Vancouver Island. But that's later in the week. The freezing levels have started to drop. So that's good news for the ski resorts in and around the coastal mountains. And then as we get mild across the prairies, but as I mentioned, a lot more in the way of snow, especially as we make our way out to Canada's east coast, as we get out towards Halifax and Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Mostly Nova Scotia is going to be feeling a lot more in the way of snow as we get into Thursday and Friday. Eventually, that same system makes its way into Newfoundland. So a snowy weekend or a snowy end to the work week for parts of Atlantic Canada. So our future cast, not a lot to talk about, not much in the way of active weather for us. And in fact, you can see these pressure temperature lines way far apart. So tomorrow looks like it's going to be a mild and not particularly windy day. -8 for Spiritwood, -9 for the Battlefords, -9 as well for Birch Hills. I'll get out of the way and show you that, yeah, we're not looking at much in the way of hot, cold temperatures overnight. Temperatures basically in and around that -9 degree mark. And as you can see, cloudy or mainly cloudy skies will prevail. Tomorrow, mainly cloudy conditions in Spiritwood, -1, 0 in the Battlefords, -4. Bit of some foggy conditions there, likely in the morning. Hopefully it doesn't last into the day like some of the fog has over the last weekend or so here in Saskatchewan. -4 for Candle Lake and Birch Hills and Nipawin, -3 in Rosthern and Melfort. Nipawin and Melfort looking at mainly cloudy skies. Prince Albert area, -10 the overnight temperature with mainly cloudy conditions. Winds not particularly strong at all. Winds out of the south at 10 kilometers an hour. Tomorrow's daytime high, -3 degrees. Again, fog likely in the morning, and that should dissipate. -3 degrees, winds from the southwest to 15, so not a windy situation at all. And the 7-day outlook for Prince Albert and area. Look at these temperatures. Come on. +1 on Thursday, Friday 2 degrees, Saturday -1, and then cooling off on Sunday, -3 degrees. Monday and Tuesday, getting back towards those seasonal values. 1 week from today, -12 for a daytime high, and that's actually a little bit below seasonal. Not by a lot, but it is below seasonal.
All the kids, Jeff, at home were sitting there as you kind of had the fanfare leading up to that -64. They were all hoping you'd go 3 degrees colder. But alas, you didn't.
Yeah, I'm disappointing the kids yet again.
There you go. All right. Well, Jeff, Canada earned a 3rd medal at the Winter Olympic Games, a silver in the mixed relay short track speed skating event. Also, a great start to the freestyle women's skiing moguls event for Saskatoon's Maya Schwinghammer. In today's first qualification run, Schwinghammer finished in 6th place, scoring a 74.9. The top 10 athletes will qualify for the final tomorrow. So far, Schwinghammer is one of 2 Canadians sitting in the top 10. And Olympic medals are breaking, and officials don't know why. A German biathlete was one of several competitors who say their medal broke during celebrations. Games officials say they are aware of the issue and are now investigating. Reuters is reporting medals are by law required to have a breakaway mechanism. It's designed to release if pulled with force to prevent possible choking. And while athletes are chasing gold at the Olympics, there is a separate competition underway throughout Milan. CTV's Garrett Barry has more on the hunt for the perfect pin.
An Olympic morning in Milan means, of course, competition. To these victors, the spoils, an exclusive city pin. To many others, broken hearts if they arrived too late for the prize.
Yes, we are trying this, but it's not going great for now. We don't have any pins for now.
The quest for Milan's perfect pin will take you all over the city. Each day here, there's a scavenger hunt of sorts where the city's tourism information board posts a new location in the morning, and pin collectors congregate here to try to get a chance at a limited edition giveaway.
This morning in Milan's Navigli district, people waited hours for the small souvenir.
Well, they're giving them out and it's kind of a hunt for them, so it makes it fun.
Because I live in Milan, quindi I want these pins, all pins.
I love pins. I don't know, I love putting them on my clothes and it's an easy accessory.
Some have been doing this for decades. Meet Thomas Rondi, a pin collector for 14 Olympic Games running, with the hardware to show.
It's really interesting. People have so much fun at it, and it's not really official yet for the Olympics, and we're in a club called the Olympin, and we're trying to literally get it part of the Olympics officially.
You'll find him anywhere in this city, always open for pin trading business. Even CTV anchor Heather Butts got in on the action.
This is the Paralympic Winter Games from Vancouver 2010.
The deal done.
We'll do that trade, and then you trade, and then you have fun, and you say thank you very much.
But there's more business to do. Rondi says each Olympic city starts a little cold, but towards the end of the games, it's a full-on frenzy to get your favorite pin while you can. Garrett Barry, CTV News in Milan.
Canada has announced a recall of some blood pressure medication. They say 2 lots of MAR amlodipine 5 milligram tablets are being recalled as some bottles may contain the wrong drug. It's usually used to treat high blood pressure and chest pain, but Health Canada says the manufacturer inadvertently put medication to treat low blood pressure in some of the bottles. The correct tablets have 8 sides and are white to off-white in color and have the numbers 210 and 5 printed on them. Health Canada says if you have round tablets in your bottle, return it to your pharmacy for replacement. A new Canadian study suggests babies who regularly eat peanuts, eggs, and fish are less likely to develop allergies. Researchers looked at more than 190 food allergy studies from around the world to identify the strongest risk factors for developing allergies. They found that delaying the introduction of foods with peanuts until children were more than a year old doubled their risk of becoming allergic. The study found similar results for fish, eggs, and other common food allergens. Well, Jeff, it was a special celebration in Lanigan this weekend as friends and family gathered to celebrate a community builder reaching a major milestone. A packed hall, lots of well wishes, and one very special guest of honor, longtime Lanigan resident Blondie Siegel, celebrated her 100th birthday surrounded by the community she spent a lifetime serving. Friends and family and neighbors from all over came together to mark the rare milestone. Born Mildred Siegel, she earned the nickname Blondie as a teenager during the war, and that name stuck for life, becoming synonymous with community service.
I think it's wonderful that they appreciate all I've done and awarded me with this tea party.
She's done so much with her life, and she's always put others first. She's actually she's an inspiration.
All right. Thanks to Blondie and her family for letting us come take part in her celebration. What a celebration, eh, Jeff? I hope I make it to 100.
We all do.
There you go. National news is coming right up.